working.
We've left the door open a little bit of air.
Well, apparently we once again it's dark, so if anybody's watching on, well, nobody's actually watching on Facebook at the minute, so we don't know if we are on Facebook. But I'm sure Christine will let us know when she logs in. But yeah, so the next one, or the next pseudosciences.
That's my speed around there. So what we'll do, Paddy, we'll just give a little bit very, very quickly. Just sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, it's working there. Amy Brown's joined us as well.
Hello, Amy. Hello. Hello.
Right, she obviously got no better than
Okay then, right guys, give you the contact details. Of course, if you want to telephone us this evening, it's 01207 795 005. That's 01207 795 005. If you want to text us via the short messaging service, it's 60777. That's 60777. Start your message with 89MX4. That's 89MX4. Or you can do JEGQE. We'll have a competition to see who gets the first one through.
Well,
he said,
yeah,
hopefully with his phone in his hand. And of course, the WhatsApp is 077. Yeah, it's there. It's on the standard.
Yeah.
You won't be. I can see it.
As long as you
I can see it. And we've got the WhatsApp, which is 07742660483. So WhatsApp is 07742660483. All right. And if you get stuck, you can go to ambronradio.com. Go to the contact page and the information's there. And if you're actually on the website and you're listening via the stream on the website, please log into the chat room. And currently in the chat room, we said refreshing, we have, there's me, there's Christine, and who's that? Who's the other one?
That's Bill.
That's Bill, and Bill's in there. Hello, Bill.
And me, don't forget me at the bottom.
Oh, mate, yes, there you are. Look.
Don't forget me. I'm
Paddy,
there as well.
Paddy's in as well,
Yeah,
so we're all in there. So, of course, come along, have a chat. You can comment. It's probably the fastest way, really, to be fair.
Yeah, well, is that, or if you watch it on Facebook, you can comment on the Facebook.
Yes, Paddy's got that feed.
Yeah, so I can see that. So yeah, so pseudoscience. So we've had outer space, so now we're going to come back down to Earth. If outer space can be plagued with pseudoscientific beliefs, so can Earth. Is it round? Is it flat? Are we the only inhabitants? Have aliens made countless visits without our knowledge? But here's a few.
It's my favourite subject. You're going to wind us up now, aren't you?
Here's a few theories, shall we say.
You're going to wind us up now.
The first one, it's so famous, Barry Manilow sang about it, did he? Somebody, what he said. Did he sing about it? Did he sing about Bermuda Triangle?
Yes. No.
Somebody sang about Bermuda Triangle. Yeah. We don't present music shows, do we, Dave? So yeah, how would we know? I'm sure it was Barry Manilow. But never mind. The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda
it was
Triangle.
Barry Manilow.
Yeah,
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, I was right. I see. That's why I present the music.
Hold on, I'm gonna have a play.
Yes, Christine said it was Barry Manilow. So yeah, so there we go.
Hold on.
The Bermuda Triangle. We're going to play Bermuda Triangle.
I'm going to try and play.
Oh, right. We're going to have a bit of Barry Manilow.
This is totally unscripted here, guys.
Yeah, it literally is. Oh yes, bit of Barry.
You never get a seat in the front 5 rows of this one, could you?
Why? Because of his nose?
Yeah, it was like Concorde turning round.
It sounds a bit strange.
Hawaii's too expensive. I think
that's why we're going to.
At least you're going to come back from Hawaii, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm laughing at the video. This is Facebook. Sorry, this is YouTube at its finest. This is obviously of the era.
What's the video like?
Well, you'll have to go and have a look yourself, guys.
Oh, right,
'Cause,
right. It's that bad.
it's got lots of, like, I'd say late 70s, early 80s
Oh, right.
pictures of the Manilow himself.
Oh, right. I saw a picture of me the other day with his husband or his boyfriend.
Oh, is he? I didn't know. I didn't know.
What, you didn't know he was gay?
I can't remember if he was or not.
Yeah, he's been gay for a long time to him.
Oh wow, there you go.
I don't know if he actually got married. I don't know if he did the Elton John thing and got married, or whether they just lived.
Wow.
But yeah, he's been with the guy for years.
God. I'm trying to think whether I knew that or not.
Yeah.
I'm deeply confused now.
But I saw a picture of him anyway with his boyfriend, husband, whatever, and he's looking very old. You know, he's more like a skeleton with skin now, than you know. I mean, not that he was ever, you know.
Oh, he's had some work. He's had some work.
Oh yeah, and it's all starting to. His plastic surgery is starting to melt.
He looks as though he's got a bulldog clip on the back of his head. Like.
Yeah.
Oh, bless his cotton socks.
He's looking a bit worse.
Oh, he's been in the sun too much. His face is melting. Oh no!
Oh, he's definitely looking a bit worse.
Do you know who he actually looks like on this photograph? Hey, look at that photograph. Who does he look like on there? What do they call him off? What's he called? Oh man, your brain's gone. Britain's Got Talent.
Britain's got what? Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell. He looks like Simon Cowell. What chest size are those pants?
Well, Simon Cowell's had a bit of work and all, hasn't he?
He must have been the same bloke that did it, like, because he's
probably was. Yeah.
Genetic cloning or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, bless his cotton.
Yes, you call his husband Gary. Because he's the same. So he's married to a man called Gary.
Wow.
So there you go.
There you go.
I thought you knew too.
I didn't know.
He's been with him for years. But anyway, let's not talk about Barry Manilow's love.
He's 76. He was born the 17th of June in 1943.
Yeah. So
but do you know what his real name? His real name is?
Oh, he's probably like somebody like Barry Sweet. Yeah, I don't know.
He's actually right. This is why I'm confused. Right, I'm gonna say this to you. Right, okay. His real name is Barry Allen Pincus.
Right.
Spelled Pincus.
Yeah.
And it says spouse. You ready?
Right.
Susan Dexter, 1964 to 1966.
Right, yeah.
All right, and then he married Gary Keefe.
Yeah.
In 2014.
Yeah. I don't think he was always gay.
I know, but that's why I was.
But he was always gay because you're not. It's not like you wake up one morning and go, "Oh, I'm gay. I've caught that gayness," you know.
But no, and I genuinely, I thought I did. That's why I'm confused because I thought, you know. But never mind. Yeah. That's fair play to the man.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a photo. Now I'm looking at the photograph of his other half.
Yeah. Sometimes you look and you think, what? You know, and then there's other times you look and you think,
oh dear.
You know, they're with them for the money.
I'm trying to work out who he looks like.
Because there's quite a few of these celebrities who have.
He looks like Peter Griffin out of.
Aye. Yeah, there's quite a few of these spouses that are quite attractive, shall we say. But they're married to billionaires.
And I would say that old bloke in it that won the lottery.
You'll not.
Did you hear that one about the old bloke who won the lottery? No. This is old bloke who won the lottery, sitting on a park bench. He was crying his eyes out.
Right.
I can't remember the rest of the joke.
Right. Oh well.
No, he was crying his eyes out. This bloke went across him. He says, "What's wrong?" He says, "Are you all right?" He says, "Yes." He said, "Well, what's wrong?" He says, "Well, I won the lottery a few days ago."
Right.
He says, "I won 90 million quid." He says, "That's absolutely tremendous." He says, "Absolutely." He says, "Why are you crying?" He says, "Oh," he says, "Well, I met the girl in my dreams," and he says, "I married her the day later." She says, 22-year-old young lady. She's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. He says, "Well, what are you crying for?" He goes, "I've got Alzheimer's. I can't remember where I live."
Oh, right. So you can remember that he won all that money. You remember that he had a 22-year-old wife.
That's part of the
but
joke.
But he couldn't remember that he couldn't remember where he lived.
It's part of the joke.
Yeah.
It was a terrible joke.
It was. Yeah. But never mind.
It's right. My granddad had it. I'm saying my granddad will probably haunt us tonight.
It was one of your granddad's jokes, like.
No, it was my granddad had Alzheimer's.
Oh, right. Oh, well.
Right. There we go.
Yeah, but never mind. Yeah, so anyway, getting back to what we're here for, the paranormal. We always seem to do that.
Yeah.
You know, we always seem to drift off into some sort of parallel universe. never mind this being a parallel reality. We live in parallel universes whilst we do this show.
I tell you what, no, genuinely, I tell you, I'm going to change the subject completely. As you know, I bumped into our very good friend, Mr. Steve W. today.
Oh yeah. I thought he might be on there.
The legend himself. I'm just looking at. It might be joining us very shortly.
Yeah, I was going to say by the time he sort of packs his stuff up.
Stevie W. When he gets himself sorted out, he'll hopefully be because he said he said the highlight of his Thursday night is listening to us.
I was saying this the other day. There was a time the other day, but I was saying this the other day. I'm obviously part of the show.
Yeah.
You know, I'm here whilst it's happening, but I watch and I listen. I've been watching it on YouTube, because although it's on Facebook, I do upload the videos to YouTube, and then I also upload them to Amazon Television.
Yes.
Because we have our television station at the moment as well. That's obviously going to be enhanced in the future. So then I sit and watch them, and I do actually kill myself laughing.
It is.
It's like, I mean, I'm quite surprised there hasn't been like paranormal investigators kicking me door in, you know.
Yeah. Take it seriously. No, but just changing the subject back there. Steve said he's got a cracking idea, and I thought this was pretty good. He reckons we should just do a music show where we have crack and banter, like we do now. Right. And then he says when we do the obviously can't keep doing this show. But be a little bit more serious, I think. Right. I think and I agree with him.
I don't think we could be.
I don't think we could, but I agree.
I think that would be impossible.
But he thinks us doing this with music and having a bit of a laugh and taking a mickey and stuff, he thinks that is a spot on idea. I'll give him his credit for that. He said that.
No, it probably is. I mean, we were just discussing during the break there about what has been the last 2-3 years voted as the best community radio show throughout the UK, and it's the one called Ginger and Nuts. And I always thought it was the other way around. I always thought the man was ginger and the woman was nuts. She's ginger and he's nuts.
Right.
But yeah, and it's been voted, like I say, I think the last 2-3 years. So, you know, it's something to aim for. And they do exactly what you're saying. Yeah. They have a bit of banter, they play some music and this and that. So it is a good idea, but I still don't think we could be serious even on the Thursday. So even if we did, I know, which would be, don't get me wrong, would be a great
I think
idea.
We should do, I tell you what I think we should do. I think we should do a Christmas show.
Right.
With music.
What you mean, like do the stripper or something like?
No,
God.
No.
I've always wanted to recreate that. I think that would be really good. There's loads of the problem I have, and I've said this many times on my show. The problem I have is I often have lots of things going on in my head, and I think, I mean, I don't know if you listened to the show on Sunday, but I was saying, you know, like you have all these videos at weddings. You know, and it's like, you know, they get up and all right, and not lie and all that. And I always said that the one that should have been is the Flashbang World.
Yeah.
And so I said, so if you a friend or a relative of mine, watch the film, learn the dance, because that's going to be the flash mob at my wedding. I'm going to do Flashbang World, and because that's the sort of thing that I do. I think of like rubbishy things in my head. I mean, for the television, I'm going to do the. I mean, I've discussed this for years, as you know. I'm going to go around crime scenes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to discuss, you know, old crimes and this, that, and the other. Obviously, this one's just paranormal. And we probably will come across some crimes in the paranormal, because there is people out there who've committed crimes. Yeah. Because going back to what you were saying about the moon, there's people committed crimes because of a full moon.
Yeah.
You know, obviously the most famous murderers was because of the full moon is werewolves.
Yeah.
But there is actually people believe that werewolves exist, and we will come across them, same as vampires. You know, they're all about it. So we will come across
There's-
things like that.
I'm just having a laugh there. There's one of my good friends who put a post on Facebook today, and I think this is actually applying to you, Paddy. It says, "Don't bother walking a mile in my shoes. That would be boring. Spend 30 seconds in your head, and that'll freak you out."
Oh yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, yeah, definitely.
Love that one. That's absolutely.
Christian says I've got to go for it. You could upload the
I'm getting worried now.
Facebook lot. Yeah.
We'll have to do an Amber and Christmas special.
Christmas special, like. Yeah, like I said, we need to do the stripper, the Mark Wise version, or we need to do something. Another one, Ernie the Fastest Milkman in the West.
Oh,
You know, the Benny Hill song.
yeah.
And we could do, it just like silly stuff like that. An idea I had many years ago. It was when YouTube first started and people were like putting stuff on. They were doing like videos, and they were making their own videos for the songs. So they were like either lip syncing the song.
Is that the one where they're all sitting in cars and things like that?
Yeah, just different things. And one of the ideas I had, it didn't involve music. And what it was, and I'm still thinking about doing it.
You've got that look in your eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And one of them was to actually play out advertisements in real life. So you run up your home with flowers. Like a man can't help acting on impulse. So you just run up to a random woman and give her flowers just to see how she reacts. Because obviously in the adverts they go, "Oh, thank you very much."
Do you know what? I would have potentially I would have agreed with you about 5-10 years ago. I would have done that for a gig. But nowadays, it's
exactly.
just
But that's what I'm saying. It was way back when
I was
we
going to say
started.
they wouldn't want to do that now. You just run it. I mean, I see some of these prank videos. There seems to be quite a lot of these videos.
Well, I mean, that was long before these prank videos.
Yeah, but
and some of these prank videos are really bad. Some of them aren't pranks.
yeah,
They're just downright stupid.
there's one that there's one that I watched today, which is this great big sort of muscular bloke who's standing. I think it's been set up.
Yeah,
He's
well, a lot of them are.
photograph.
You can see that they are, especially the overactive when something happens.
He's built like a large building
Yeah.
where you're right to go and go to the toilet, and he stood on the edge of this bridge, and the kid goes up to him and air horns him. And
Oh yeah, and he picks up the kid and throws him over.
Yeah,
I've seen that one. Yeah.
Now it is look a bit staged, but there's another one, and I think he's called is it Jowls or it's the one where it's got that music and it's got run and then
Yeah.
And I watched that one where he's dressed as a clown with a mallet in a car park.
Oh yeah.
And it's got a torso and it's got a head, and he hits the
Oh,
head.
and he's like bashing it. Yeah.
And this
But have you seen the one where the guy's got no legs?
Yeah.
and he like pretends to be a zombie and all that.
Yeah.
He's got, like put all the entrails and what have you at the bottom of his t-shirt.
Yeah.
And obviously he hasn't got any legs. He'd be crawling along.
Yeah.
Like just when you went to the car park, there's the one where he crawls in the car park.
And that like girl's reaction when she sees him when he comes out, that girl is not faking it. And I'm utterly convinced she wets herself.
Yeah, more than likely, yeah.
But,
that wouldn't surprise me at all because there is some out there. But anyway, we're not talking about YouTube. We're not talking about television. We're not talking about dummy adverts.
I think we're doing something paranormal.
We're supposed to be talking about the paranormal. The Bermuda Triangle is a section of the North Atlantic Ocean.
Who did a song about that?
I think it was Barry Manilow.
Barry Manilow living with his husband. There we go. Back in the room.
Yeah, exactly. So the section of the North Atlantic Ocean, just off North America, where 50 ships and 20 airplanes have said to have mysteriously disappeared.
Now,
the areas whose boundaries are not universally agreed upon has a vaguely triangular shape, hence the name.
Yeah.
And it's marked by Florida,
the
Panhandle State, Bermuda, Bermuda Triangle, and the Greater Antilles.
Now, this is really interesting because I did, again, believe it or not, a few weeks back watch a documentary on this one, which was a lovely gentleman who said that he'd actually lost 45 minutes of his life whilst flying through what he described as an electromagnetic fog storm.
Yeah. When people talk about fog storms, I always think of the Incredible Shrinking Man.
Yeah, well, there was I'm trying to think of what was it, the Philadelphia project as well, where the ship goes back to
Yeah, the Philadelphia experiment or
something like that. Yeah, where they go back in
yeah,
time
it goes
and
back in time. Yeah,
save Pearl Harbor. I mean, like, a bit of creative writing there, mate, but it was.
well,
Yeah, it was a bit creative and stuff like
It's
that. And
the-
of course, the guy, it was the
it's
guy who
Hollywood,
was
isn't
in Blue Thunder. I'm trying to think of his name. The actor who was in Blue Thunder.
yeah, Blue Thunder.
Yeah, the film, the television and film. Blue
Oh, is that
Thunder.
the helicopter?
Yeah, the police one, not Airwolf, the other one.
The other one.
The one that looks more like an Apache.
Aye,
Yeah, and
I can't think of his name.
yeah, he was in that one, and he obviously comes back and meets
Yeah.
the ship when it docks in with
Oh,
his
yeah,
wife,
yeah,
and he's like an old
yeah.
man. And
All I can think of was he Airwolf?
no, that's John Michael Vincent was.
No,
Airwolf.
the other guy, Ernest Boyle.
No, Airwolf. Ernest Borgnine. Yeah, he
yeah.
was actually in the Navy, is it?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll have a look. I'll consult Barry Manuel over there.
Are you consulting Barry Manilow? What you got him on Facebook or WhatsApp or something?
No.
Hello, Barry. Can you tell me who was the guy who was in Blue Thunder? Was it not?
Blue Thunder.
Was it not him out of Jaws?
Do you know what? Roy Schneider
Yeah.
was in it.
Yeah, I thought he was. Yeah.
Hold on a second. I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm not as daft as I look. It's impossible to be that daft.
I was
I'm
going to
waiting
say
for
like that's some massive magnificent Peter.
Yeah,
I can't. It's not.
Schneider. He was in Jaws.
Hold on a second. The one. It's not. I'm trying to think who it was. Blue.
What's this got to do with the Bermuda Triangle, by the way, Dave? We got off track here. haven't we?
James Farentino is the guy.
Who?
I think. James
Never knew.
Farentino.
Never know. Do you want the picture?
Oh man. There you go. You've got to know that face.
I do, but I didn't know.
He was the helicopter.
Was he?
He was the.
Didn't I have a young blonde-haired guy with him?
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
Right.
but that was in the film. He was that guy there.
Yeah.
Was in the film, The Philadelphia Experiment, which is why
Right,
we're talking
right,
about it, which
right.
is where they go through the magnetic thumb
Yeah,
back in time
yeah,
to rescue
yeah,
Pearl Harbor.
yeah.
But that was who I was talking about.
Right.
There you go.
All right.
James. Oh God. James
That took a while, didn't it?
Yeah. James Farentino. But no, the guy who was on the TV program I was watching said that he was flying back and he was coming back from Bermuda.
Yeah.
And the flight should have taken him, I think it was something like an hour and a half or something.
Yeah.
He was in a very, very small two-seater single-engine Cessna aircraft. And he went through this electric fog. He says all he can actually remember is that the dials were going crazy. He couldn't work out what his altitude was, his height, or anything like that at all.
Well, they say there's some sort of magnetic. The skeptics say there's some magnetic
anomaly.
field or,
There's a magnetic anomaly. So what actually then happened is he arrived. Came out of the fog.
Yeah.
And then he realised he was literally over the Florida coastline.
Yeah.
I think he was coming into Miami or wherever it was, or whichever town it was he was coming into. And then he looked down at his watch and he thought, hold on a minute, I've literally lost half an hour.
Yeah.
And he says it's like, the way he described it is that he'd actually blinked and lost the half an hour.
Yeah.
He can't explain where that went.
Yeah.
Obviously doing his charts, his flight charts and things like that.
Yeah.
And even the fact when he actually registered with the air traffic control, he turned on the air traffic control and said, "Oh yeah, you've just like reappeared on our radar."
Yeah.
And he said,
that's what it actually says.
And he actually said, he said it was if you like. I mean, with all anybody who's flown, you've flown through clouds, and you know where it's complete whiteout.
Yeah.
And then bang, you sort of like you're back in, or you're either above the clouds and you've got sunshine and it's raining below or whatever.
Yeah.
But he said it was literally bang, he was back and it was bright sunlight, the clouds were behind him and it was kind of disappearing.
Yeah.
And he said he literally within about 10-15 minutes of actually going through the cloud, he looked behind him, because obviously you can see out the back of the aircraft because there's a window, and there was no cloud there.
Yeah.
And he couldn't explain where he'd come from and stuff. But I mean, there's stories of there's the famous fighter jets that went the United
Well, it
States.
says reports of unexplained occurrences in the region date to the mid-19th century. Some ships were discovered completely abandoned for no apparent reason. Others transmitted no distress signals and were never seen or heard from again. Aircraft have been reported and then vanished, and rescue missions are said to have vanished when flying in the area. However, wreckage has not been found, and some of the theories advanced to explain the repeated mysteries have been fanciful. Although theories of the supernatural causes for these disappearances abound, geophysical and environmental factors are most likely responsible. One hypothesis is that pilots had failed to account for the agonic line, the place at which there is no need to compensate for magnetic compass variation. As they approach the Bermuda Triangle, resulted in a significant navigational error and catastrophe. Another popular theory is that the missing vessels were felled by so-called rogue waves, which are massive waves that can reach heights of up to 100 feet and would theoretically be powerful enough to destroy all evidence of ship or airplane. The Bermuda Triangle is located in an area of the Atlantic Ocean where storms from multiple directions can converge, making rogue waves more likely to occur.
Always remember, it was funny when I went to Antigua and I was flying back from Antigua on the British Airways, and we're flying across, and you know how they say that the storm clouds are anvil shaped.
Yeah.
It looks like an anvil.
Oh yeah.
Well, as we're flying across, the pilot went, yes, and now we're, you know, as they do come over, and ladies and gentlemen, just like to let you know we're approaching the Bermuda Triangle, and I was got on my eye and saw this anvil shaped cloud, and I was thinking, yeah.
Can I get out now, please?
Yeah, can I get out and walk, please? But no, obviously I made it back safely and stuff like that. We weren't abducted by aliens and stuff. But there is in the, and I can't remember on which island it is, on one of the islands in the Caribbean, and it might be Antigua or it might be St. Lucia.
Yeah.
There is a story of how one of the ships, and we're going back to the ancient sailing ships.
Yeah.
Came in. I mean, I don't know how true it is, but the local folklore and legend said that there was a ship that went to go back. It was something to do with the slave trade.
Oh, yeah.
And it was, I'm sure, I mean, I might be wrong, but I'm sure it actually was St. Lucia that was to do with taking sugar beet back.
Oh, right, yeah.
Obviously from the sugar plantations and stuff like that. And the ship left the harbour, went for month or whatever, never to be heard of again.
Yeah.
And it was, I think it was about a year later or 2 years later, the ship just completely rolled up and just kind of floated up against the beach. And it was the ship that went missing. Not a sign of life on board, but it was a bit like the ship the Goonies sort of thing.
The ghost ship.
They literally,
the Mary Rose, that's another one.
Yeah.
No, it's not
the
Mary
Rose. The Black Pearl, no, so I can't
no, the Black Pearls, Jack Sparrows.
Yeah, Jack Sparrow. But they literally,
I'm trying to think of what it is. Mary Celeste.
Mary Celeste, yeah, and it came back in.
I bet you Christian just wrote that on.
Yeah, and it actually looks. Joking aside, they said that the guy who was telling us the story is one of the local tour guys and stuff, and he said it was as if the ship they just jumped off the ship. He said so, like things about like saying about waves and stuff and things like that.
Well, the thing is, I mean, back in them days, I mean, even today, technically, we haven't conquered the sea.
No.
So we don't know what's out there. So there is things. I mean, we're actually going to come onto something which lives in the sea later on.
Oh. It's not Nettie, is it?
No, Nettie doesn't live in the sea. Nettie lives in a lock.
Yeah, but you can go on, can't you? There's a secret tunnel.
Well, they're supposed to be.
Where the World War II submarines were coming in.
They're supposed to be, isn't it? And that's how it's supposed to survive. Because when people go looking for it, it goes through this tunnel into the sea. People search around the lock, can't find it, and then it comes back into the lock.
Well, I heard when they did the sonar, they couldn't find the bottom of the bottom of Loch Ness. Apparently, it's that deep.
It's that deep, yeah, exactly, yeah, because they've tried all sorts of them to try and find it. But no, the Kraken.
The Kraken. Oh, is that octopus?
Yeah, that's it. So obviously, the Kraken, depending on what story you read.
It's a Kraken story.
Yeah, depending on what story you read, the Kraken is different. It's an octopus.
Yeah, but
it's
There's the
Clash of the Titans. It's a big sort of thing, isn't it?
but the thing is things like mermaids as well. The actual the mermaids.
Exactly.
And, what else? What was it? What was the other one?
The Manitous.
That's it. The
That's
manatees.
what a mermaid is, or that's what the sea mermaid is.
No, what is it? I'm sure there's another one. There's another.
Whereas the Kraken, the mermaids, the sirens,
Yeah, that was it. The siren. No.
and the but yeah. So like I say, even now we don't know what's in the sea. So all these, if your ship is suffering, these storms, and then all of a sudden this, because giant squids do exist.
Oh yeah.
So if a giant squid's attacking your boat, then you're going to get away from it as quickly as you can, aren't you? And then obviously you end up dying because
somebody
you end up drowning, or the squid gets you.
Yeah, there was one of the documentaries that I was actually. Well, again, it was probably one of the Howard Hughes ones. I was Ian Explain ones. They were talking about it, and one of the guys actually on there said, he goes, overall, in total, the amount of money that we've put into space exploration.
Yeah.
And he said, we haven't even begun. We haven't even scratched the surface of our own planet.
Well, you can't. The sea is so vast. I mean, they're still finding creatures to this day.
Yeah.
In the sea, because they'll go to like 20 fathoms, and then they'll go to 30 fathoms, and they'll find like another 1,000 different creatures. I mean, I don't know if you've seen the film Meg.
No. Jason Statham.
But but the whole point of it is it's an exploration of the sea, and they go to a certain level, and then they break through that level into the next level, which is obviously a lot deeper again, and that's where the Meg is. And so they've disrupted basically, if you imagine a layer of ice and they've broke through it, so they've actually opened the door, for want of a better word, for the Meg to come out. And so the Meg's been there since the Meg existed back in prehistoric times.
I mean, the thing is when they look at them, like say the heat, I can't remember what they are, for want of a better term, but like the heat chimneys and stuff like that, where the hot water's coming out the centre of the earth and stuff, and about the life forms that have never seen sunlight, and how they've adapted. And I know that scientists have looked at that and went, if the life can survive in these conditions, because originally they said you need sun and you need water to survive. But now it's literally water is the be-all and end-all, which is obviously going back to the Mars thing you were talking about earlier on. But what they're actually saying is if things can survive in that, then that opens up scientific possibilities for the Pluto,
absolutely.
Other planets, and I'm trying to think of the Saturn's moons, Jupiter, and and all those things and stuff like that. Now again, how I've always thought, if we'd be really, really, really complacent to think that we're the only life form.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we've mentioned this before, haven't we? The amount of life forms there is on the planet that we know of. You've got us, you've got dogs, you've got cats, you've got horses, you've got cows, you've got sheep. So the amount of life forms that there is, I mean, obviously there's a lot more than just what I just mentioned, But I mean, like, we'd be here all night and them life forms. And then you've got the different types of that. I mean, like the human being itself. You've got us, the Europeans, then you've got the Chinese, and you've got the Africans, and the Indians, and so you've got a vast variety in humans. Then the same with dogs. How many breeds of dogs are there? How many breeds of cats are there? How many breeds of cows are there?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's something right up your street. I mean, you probably know quite a bit about this, but even going down to the DNA, when you actually look at certain strands of certain types of, I don't know whether it was protein or something, where they have have like a letter and a number, and they can actually now specifically identify. And I was watching that Ant and Dec one.
Oh, right. I can watch it, but I've heard about it.
Absolutely fantastic. But from the genetic side of it, when they're talking about the genetics, so they can actually turn around and say you've got, I don't know, for the sake of argument, you've got A1. And A1 will put you to X region at this time. And this person was, now if we, if you sort of like everybody talks about Africa, the cradle of
Yeah,
life,
yeah,
and all
yeah.
that
Well,
carry on and stuff like that.
That's where we're supposed to
Yeah.
come from, isn't it?
That's been blown out of the water because
Yeah.
there's the Aboriginals.
Yeah,
And apparently the Aboriginals have been there slightly longer.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But if you look at it, I mean, if you actually genuinely look at how the earth is being seeded.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of that name of that island, which is over towards Australia.
New Zealand?
Galapagos Islands.
Oh, yes, where the giant turtle, is it the turtle that lives there? The Galapagos
they've got
turtles?
specific breeds which are actually...
There was a TV program on not so long ago.
Yeah.
I'm saying not so long, it was probably a couple of years ago. It was a 3-part, and it was about the Galapagos
Because
Islands. You had the on the land and you had the sea. And,
but there's only life forms which are specific to that island.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, and because of the nature of it, it was shielded, and it's kind of been its own kind of petri dish. There's Diane saying hello, everyone. Hello, Diane.
Hello, I don't know.
No, she's on the chat room.
She's on the chat room. Not so I'm waving at nobody. I'm waving away, and you're not even in Facebook. But yeah,
in Facebook.
In Facebook.
On Facebook.
In Facebook. On Facebook. Yeah.
So Paddy's on one of those next
so,
nights.
Yeah. So you know, as I say, we've got our army. But according to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, there is no evidence.
Is that NOAA?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is no evidence that mysterious disappearances occur with any greater frequency in the Bermuda Triangle than anywhere else in the world.
True.
You know, where boats and all that are, you know, prolific. There's as many go disappear there as the
I do love it when they turn around and say things like this scientifically and stuff like that. But then again, you see, like in the back of my head, I'm always sort of looking at things like that and turn around and go, yeah, but there's no smoke without fire. There's something's got to be happening for that story to perpetuate itself.
Yeah, but what they're saying is it's the magnetic field, isn't it? That's causing these storms and, you know, and all this.
Well, you see, this is what they reckon, isn't it? Because they reckon going back something like 10,000 or 20,000 years ago, there was a magnetic shift in where the magnetic North Pole would have been pointing towards Rio de Janeiro or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
there's such a big shift, isn't there?
Yeah,
and whatever.
And they've actually found rocks in ancient rocks in I think it's believe it or not, I think it's actually Australia.
Well, Australia is, you know, it's just got in from the forum. Watch Joseph and Image and
excellent.
Yeah.
The
biblical story. No, Dave, we don't need a musical. Every time somebody mentions something, Dave, we don't need a musical rendition of it.
I think that was quite impressive. For the A, I can't sing, and B, I remembered what it was. I think. Yeah, you see. Christine saying nice.
Yeah, I think she meant nice. That Diane's been to sing the forum, not you singing, Dave. So that's the Bermuda Triangle. So if you've experienced the Bermuda Triangle, I don't mean obviously if you went missing in the Bermuda Triangle, because if you went missing, you wouldn't be able to.
I must confess, when I've flown that neck of the woods about 2 or 3 times, like sort of return, 6 times or whatever, doing the return journey.
Yeah.
And I've got to be honest with you, I did feel a little bit nervous.
I must admit, the first time I ever heard of the Bermuda Triangle, I didn't want to go anywhere near it because, you know, I was a young child. I heard about this Bermuda Triangle where places went missing. Where things went missing, and I just didn't want to go anywhere near it, you know. So it was like I looked in an atlas to see where the Bermuda Triangle was, and when I saw it, I thought, well, you know, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
Now I wouldn't be bothered. Get me across to the Bermuda Triangle. In fact, that's what we'll do. We'll do a paranormal experience from the Bermuda Triangle.
That sounds awesome. We'll have to work out how we're going to pay for that one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If you'd like to donate to the paranormal,
we'll go to GoFundMe page, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely. We need a GoFundMe page for that. But yeah, it'd be great to do one from there. Obviously, it's never going to happen unless we happen to win the lottery. But yeah,
in it to win it.
Hey, well, it's true. It is true. So that's the Bermuda Triangle. As Barry Monroe said, you know, people disappear. So, your favourite one, Dave?
Oh. Go on, and let me have me rant, please.
Okay. The flat Earth theory.
Right.
A claim that since Earth looks and feels flat, it must be flat and disc-shaped. So basically what they're saying is it looks like a LP record.
Right. Okay.
Rather than a globe.
And I'm
or a
still
ball.
waiting. And those of you that have listened regularly to this show will know that I, a number of weeks ago, said, "Somebody, please tell me." Now, I am open-minded.
Yeah.
I do believe in things.
Yeah.
And we had conversations long into the night, a number of occasions,
Yeah.
for some of the things where we've argued each other.
Yeah.
And I think, but the one thing that upsets me is this flat Earth thing.
Right.
And the reason being is because, and this is where I'm going to be in the early part of this year, because I'll be driving down that same stretch of road, down to that there London.
That there London,
Yeah. And
doing the big smoke.
down the big smoke, and I drive down there, and there's a certain area of the A1, and then you go on to the, I think it's is it M11 or A11, I can't remember. But you got on that thing, and every single bridge has got flat Earth on.
Yeah. Right.
And I will, if I can, when I'm down there, I will take a photograph of this flat Earth.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use it as my profile picture because it drives me nuts. Now the thing is I don't know how you could actually turn around and go, the Earth's flat.
Right. Well, I'm about to tell you what they say.
Right. And I want somebody to either ring in, text us, messages on Facebook, or get in the chat room.
The thing is, they shouldn't have a problem, because if the Earth is flat, then they'd be in direct line with you, wouldn't it? Whereas if it was round, then they may be down the bottom of a curve, so they'd have to come around the curve.
I've seen the curvature of the Earth with my own eyes.
People have seen it from the moon, but then again, they believe that the moon. See, the problem with this is that it then opens up lots of other conspiracies. You would have to believe in every single conspiracy to believe that the Earth was flat, because you'd have to believe that people haven't been to the moon. You'd have to believe that men haven't been in space, because people have been and looked at Earth and gone, that's Earth. And that's why we have pictures of Earth that looks like Earth, with a globe on it and what have you, and us sitting at the little dot at the top.
Yeah, but you see, the problem I've got with this is they turn around and they go, this is it, it's Earth's flat.
Yeah.
And you've seen, and somebody, I actually read some information on it, and they said, and I can't remember, somebody will have to correct this because I should know this, but something is, I believe it is Asgard in one of the Marvel films, Thor.
Yeah.
And then it shows you Asgard,
Yeah.
flying into Asgard, and you can see that Asgard is flat.
Yeah,
It's a disc.
Yeah.
You can see the water coming off it and all that carry on and things like that. And somebody says that the part of the theory, it says it actually looks like Asgard.
Yeah.
And that is the
that's exactly what they're saying. It looks like,
the first true representation of the planet Earth to these people who are the flat earthers.
Yeah.
But I just want one thing to say is we know that the Earth is genuinely.
Steve's in there now.
Steve's in. Good evening, Steve. You know one thing and one thing only: if the Earth was flat, cats would have thrown everything off the edge. Is all I'm going to say, right? And I'm sorry, but there's. Hi, Steve, saying good evening there.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
I can't, because there's so many scientific. I mean, I have seen the curvature with your own eyes. I have been in an aircraft, which is
of course,
to go, oh look, because you can see it. You can actually see how, and it
well, you've got no more further than that. If you were to get a giant ball, let's say, a radius of 60 foot, and you were to stand there, you wouldn't, because obviously one of the things they say is that you can always see the end. You can't see in the distance. There's no curve.
Yeah.
So when you look across the horizon, you can see the horizon. So that's one of the things that they say. You can actually see it. Now my answer to that was, if the Earth was flat, then surely if I'm looking, I should be able to see Australia or wherever.
Yeah.
Because if it's flat, maybe my eyes wouldn't be able to see that far, but it would see into the distance, wouldn't it? There'll be something, and eventually it would start blurring and disappearing, but it would always be there. Whereas what I see is from my house, I see South Shields. I see the sea.
Well, I was going to say, from your house on a clear day, you'd be able to see the Scottish Lowlands.
Well, probably can. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never looked. But I have seen the sea. I have seen like South Shields and.
You need a canny set of binoculars.
Yeah, I would like. Yeah, definitely. But yeah. So what they're saying is because you can see the end, then it must be flat. Now, as I say, if you get a big ball and you stand on a big ball, you're only going to see so far. As you start to walk, you're going to always see that amount of.
You're always going to be the same distance from the horizon.
You're always going to see that amount, but you're actually walking around a ball, and it's exactly the same as that. But they're saying because you can see, and as you move, you can still see the horizon, then it must be flat. Because what they say is members of the Flat Earth Society claim to believe that the Earth is flat. Walking around on the planet's surface, it looks and feels flat, so therefore it must be.
Yeah. But you see,
so, it's
like I said, I think one of the most, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm going to be serious when I say this, but one of the most amazing things I've ever seen was I was in an aeroplane. I was flying at a very, very high altitude because we were flying, believe it or not, actually over a
storm. Were you really in an aeroplane?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
When you were flying high.
We were flying very, very high because we were flying over a storm. And one of the most amazing things I've seen is I looked out that window and I actually saw the sunrise. And I could see the curvature of the earth outside the window.
Yeah.
And sadly, I didn't camera.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a
camera
phone at the time, but my camera was in my bag in the hold of the aircraft, and I still think to this day that is probably one of the most glorious things I've ever seen.
One of the things I always regret not having mobile phones at the time was I remember. I mean, it's not as spectacular as the curvature of the Earth, but I always remember. I think it was Blackpool, and I'm travelling back from Blackpool on a coach. And the coach driver just stopped. And everybody said, well, will you stop for, we want to get home and this and that. And he says, I've stopped because I want you to get off the bus. Because I want you to see something. And we got off the bus. And the front of the bus was in sunshine. The back of the bus was raining.
Yeah.
He literally parked the bus in between the two weather.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely, and obviously, if I'd had a mobile phone, if it was now, I'd have been recording it and taking photographs of it.
That flight coming back, the sun was like a sunrise, and you've all seen sunset. You've all seen sunrise.
That's 12 hours, isn't it?
But just the way the sun, and I tell you what actually, and I can't remember whether it was Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, or somebody actually said it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
To actually see and actually think of how thin that level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Like 50, 60, 70,000 feet or whatever. I can't. I couldn't even tell you. I'm not that technically minded when it comes to. But when you actually see that and you actually see that coming through, and it actually shows you how thin the atmosphere actually was.
Yeah. And it's probably even thinner now.
And it was
with all these CFCs and what have you.
Oh no! Apparently, we're pretty good with the ozone.
I'm not going down the Greta Thunberg route.
Don't get me started on that.
But apparently these flat earthers believe, going back to what I was saying about the moon landing, they think the round earth, or it looks like a globe, is a conspiracy by NASA. I mean, I don't know why. I can't see, even if it was, I can't see why.
I
don't understand why NASA would say the Earth's round. Why are they saying it's flat?
You tell me a conspiracy theory about Martians.
Yeah.
You tell me a conspiracy theory about alien life forms.
You tell
me a conspiracy theory that JFK was shot. You tell me I can actually look at it. And one of the other one I was listening to the other day was about the 9/11.
Yeah.
And you listen to all these conspiracy theories, and
they've all got some basis in fact.
That has
and that's why so many people believe these conspiracies, because you listen to a conspiracy, and even in the back of your head, obviously most of them you think rubbish, but then you have in the back of your head, you think, that sounds plausible.
But the thing is like I say, again, there's one of the guys that Howard Hughes interviewed and I keep referring back to the Unexplained, but when you listen to one of these interviews with Howard Hughes, this guy was actually debunking.
Yeah.
He's debunked every single conspiracy
Yeah,
theory
yeah,
you
yeah,
think of
yeah,
this guy.
yeah.
And to be fair, some of it I could get it, and some
Yeah.
of it I was thinking, well, hold on a minute.
Yeah, well, exactly.
But
There's some of
he's
it
wrote
which
a
is
book
quite plausible.
on he's wrote a book on the JFK thing.
Yeah.
When JFK was assassinated. But
Yeah.
when you listen to some of the stuff, Matt, he says the thing is, he says yes, they want you to believe. He says they can actually be quite plausible in some of the stuff that they actually see, and actually say yes, this did happen.
Yeah.
Or this could have happened, or
Yeah.
here's a theory, and then it's got that.
Yeah.
But where it comes down to and it's the only one
Yeah.
theory that I struggle with, because it's like, and I've never been that black and white about anything.
Yeah,
But when
aye.
somebody somebody
Well,
stand
as
with
I
a
say,
t-shirt on flat Earth, and you
Well,
just
as I
look at
say,
them going,
why does it? Why is it even a conspiracy theory? Why does it need to be? What difference does it make to me whether the Earth's round or
I'd
flat?
love to just
It makes no difference. NASA aren't making any money because the Earth's flat.
no.
You know, by saying it's round. So there's nobody actually achieving anything by saying it's round.
I just loved it.
So I can't see why it needs to be flat.
I think it was Cambridge Services that I was in the last time I was in Cambridge Services, and there was a bloke there, and he had a flat Earth T-shirt on, and I saw him, and honestly, obviously I was with the other half,
And then you went out and stuck your knife in his tire.
No,
And it's flat as that.
It's flat. No, but when he's standing there, he said the Earth, and it said it was a black T-shirt, white writing,
Yeah.
the Earth is flat, and I just and honestly,
Yeah, was it not a bit of an
Probably.
like ironic picture
probably,
rather
which is
than
probably
actual-
glad why I
Because
didn't.
he was probably like, if he was a trucker, he's probably like sort of 60.
Oh no, he looked. He
Oh,
looked,
right.
He looked. He looked.
He looked like he hadn't been washed.
No, he looked.
Oh well.
No, he looked.
If he looked like he hadn't been washed, then he probably was a flat earther.
He probably, yeah. And he stood there and he kind of looked at it, and I kind of looked at his T-shirt. I looked at him and I read his T-shirt again, and I genuinely.
I'm gonna get knifed by some of these conspiracy theorists, aren't they? If he looked like he hadn't been washed, then he obviously is a flat earther.
Oh, I can't see things like that. But no, I just looked at this bloke and I thought, are you for real? Are you honestly that void of brain cells?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but that's the one thing I'm black and white on, and unless they were doing some kind of laser light effect when I was up in that aeroplane or whatever.
Mm.
But my God.
Yeah,
honestly,
but that's the thing. The airline would have to be involved in it. NASA would have to be
that's
involved.
not a fisheye window
There was yeah, exactly.
that was activated
There'd
as you went to the
Thered have to be so much. There have to be so many people involved in this conspiracy theory that it would eventually come out.
Now that's interesting that you said that, because the thing is, it's like, for instance, when this guy who's debunked the JFK assassination, this guy, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he's quite a controversial figure amongst people who believe in conspiracy theories, because he is kind of
the
wet blanket and stuff
He's
like that.
the James Randi for the paranormal. Yeah.
But he's basically turned around and said, he goes, the thing is, they said no matter what, he says the more it sounds plausible, the more you believe it's a conspiracy theory. But he says you have to look at things like that, and he used I think what he used is it was one of the big conspiracy theories, like say that the landing on the moon landings. We'll go to the moon landings, because he was talking about the moon landings. So he says, here you go. He says, you've got thousands of people that work for NASA. He says you've got thousands of people who work for the government. You've got thousands of people that work for the news agencies and
exactly,
and stuff like that. And he says the thing is, he said, for all these people, and it was thought to do with around Area 51 as well. Yeah. He said you've got all these people that work in these areas here, and then he says the thing is there's thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that have to live this life. He says no matter what. And he says yes, there's their official secrets act, their version of the official secrets act, etc. He says, and you've got these people who, they go to the death. He said,
but how do we find out about the secrets? There's always a whistleblower. There's always somebody who tells.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's the Area 51, Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar came out and said that he was working reverse engineering technology in Area 51. Yeah. And the daft thing is the actually guy said, he goes, I mean, the Americans are very, 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 very precious.
Oh, yeah.
About Area 51.
Yeah.
Seen loads of videos of people driving up to Area 51 and then the white trucks appear
Of
and the
course,
guys get
yeah,
out
yeah.
and start
Oh,
telling them
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that. Now,
yeah.
there was another conspiracy theory that turns around now. Apparently, there's a massive tunnel that goes from Area 51 to two other air bases.
Right.
That they've transported the alien technology through these massive tunnels and things like that, and they developed a way of getting rid of all the dust. This is like one of the theories that's out there, right? And they've got these massive tunnels.
One of the many.
Yeah, one of the many, and it goes through. And he said, as long as they keep the heat on Area 51.
Yeah, well,
the other one, which is, and I can't remember the name.
Area 53.
There is.
Yeah.
No, but this other one, which is in further down near it's actually next to Roswell.
Yeah.
It's in the next county over from Roswell, if I remember off the top of my head off the map.
Yeah.
But this other one, and it keeps the heat off them, so they don't have to have the maximum security that they do. But this guy's utterly convinced. Now it's on this airbase where it is next to and partly on a Native American Indian reservation. The local Native American Indians, who are one of the tribes that they are there, they talk about the star people.
Right. Yeah.
And there's that whole theory going back, and they have a very, very, very similar theory to one of the tribes in Africa. Also the Aborigines. And it's a very, very, very similar story.
Yeah.
Which is the ancient, which is really.
They've started investigating the area full of junk and waste from space, Area 54, the white sandbag.
Yeah, Stephen. Yes,
I often see I have pockets like a woman's handbag because I literally have like loads of stuff.
Tell us you've got to have a woman's handbag there, Paddy. I was going to get really.
Whoa, dear. What have I had? What have I had? What's it going to do with you?
It's like a man bag.
I would used to have a man bag.
You'll have a man bun next to it.
But yeah, so your mates are out there. The belief that the Earth is flat has been described as the ultimate conspiracy theory. According to Flat Earth Society leadership, this is according to them, obviously. Its ranks have grown by 200 people, mostly Americans, Britain, per year since 2009. Judging by the exhaustive efforts Flat Earthers have invested in fleshing out the theories on their website, as well as the staunch defense of their views they offer in media and interviews on Twitter, it would seem that these people genuinely believe that.
I saw the somebody showed the interview of when Phil and Holly interviewed them off that. What's that there? Good morning or what? Not Good Morning.
Yeah.
You know what?
This morning.
Phil Schofield this morning. They had them on there. These two blokes, and they're going. This is. I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably where the whole wind-up thing for me came from.
Right.
With these two blokes.
Right.
So if you guys are listening now, right, whoever chose those two guys to get on, wrong answer, wrong people. You shouldn't have sent them, because, like I said, Phil got his teeth into this book. Literally got his teeth into this book.
Yeah, sometimes Phil can be good. There's other times when he's a bit of a damn squib, but when he's on gets a bit between his teeth, he tends to be pretty good. But sometimes it's like, oh my Phil.
To be honest, I've never kind of, I've like seen him on the telly. I've watched him when
you don't watch it. You don't watch This Morning for Phil.
Nah.
Nobody watches This Morning. Well, women maybe watch This Morning for Phil, but men definitely don't watch This Morning for Phil.
But like I said, I watched that. The two blokes that had on there, and you had to think to yourself that ITV had literally walked into the first bar in London and went, "Does anybody want to earn 50 quid?"
Yeah. Well, sometimes that's exactly what does happen.
Yeah. But I like, when you're like these two guys, and like I said, they're probably lovely chaps. They're probably, good fellas. They probably hold down a cracking job and do, nice things and stuff, and good parents. Oh Jesus!
Oh yeah.
Pardon me, French.
But you mentioned about it being like Asgard with the waterfall.
Yeah.
Well, apparently not, because apparently not only is it a big massive disc, but we're surrounded by a wall of ice. Hence the reason why the water doesn't roll off the side. So you've got this big massive record, for want of a better word, and round the outside of it, you've got a big wall of ice which keeps all the water.
Right.
in
Okay.
there.
So okay. So here's the question: do these guys believe that there is actually space above our heads? Do they believe that there's space? Because the thing is please tell me, right?
And apparently the wall of ice is there to stop people from climbing off the end.
Right. Okay. Then. Right. Marvelous. Well, right. Okay. So the reason I'm asking that is obviously like because if we know that there's zero gravity in space. All right.
Yeah.
So can you please tell me if we are on this massive big flat like record sort of disc style, why we're not all floating around in space? Please tell me why I weigh the weight that I do. Right, because I'm telling honestly, this is one that I'm sorry, but
Well, apparently, Nathan Thompson, that's the man you need.
Nathan Thompson.
Yeah, he's a well-known flat Earth conspiracy theorist.
This isn't the bloke.
He recently approached a man he said was a NASA employee in a Starbucks in mid-May.
Steve's just thrown us under a bus there. He's told us it was too many Bakewell tarts.
Oh, did you have a Bakewell tart?
Bakewell tart today, yes.
I know. I got the invite.
Yeah.
I'll remember the periods.
Usually in bed at that time of the day.
What was I doing? I probably was in bed actually.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it was a nice Bakewell
he
tart.
said he met an employee of NASA in Starbucks in mid-May 2017. Thompson, founded the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion page, shouted that he had proof the Earth was flat, apparently saying an astronaut drowning was that proof, and that NASA is lying.
Astronaut drowned?
Yeah, apparently an astronaut drowned. I don't know the relevance of that, but yeah, that's.
Do you know? I've got to be honest. I'm going to say this again, right? If there's anybody that's a flat earther out there, get in contact with us. I'd love to talk to you. I genuinely would love to have that conversation with you.
But and then going back to what you were saying before, Earth's gravity is an illusion. Objects do not accelerate downwards. Instead, the disk of Earth accelerates upwards. So basically, we're moving up and up all the time at 32 feet per second, driven by a mysterious force called dark energy. Currently, there's a disagreement among flat earthers about whether or not Einstein's theory of relativity permits Earth to accelerate upward indefinitely without the planet eventually surpassing the speed of light.
Do you know what I learned today or something about Einstein's theory of relativity? Did you know that actually wasn't Einstein's theory?
Right. I wasn't around.
This is really interesting.
I've got his hairstyle.
I know.
Yeah.
It's only because we've been licking the plug. Right. No, what they actually.
Turtles were on the back of. Turtles, we were on the back of Turtles. Isn't that Discworld?
Something like that.
What do you call them? Patchett.
Terry Pratchett. Yeah. No, right. So what happened was in the trenches in the First World War, on the German side, there was a German mathematician who was fighting in the trenches. This guy was apparently a genius.
Right.
He was actually fighting in the trenches.
Well, so was he trying to calculate the best route, or was his maths not?
No.
It was just he was a soldier.
He was conscripted to join.
Right. So what I meant was his mathematical genius wasn't being used.
No, they didn't. Basically, you know how they had the form of conscript as where they went down to the universities and the schools and things.
Well,
said, please.
Yeah, it was slightly more than conscription, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, they basically forced. I mean, it's always ironic that we had like sort of what they had at the beginning of the war. We had that by the end of the war.
Yeah.
Whereas at the beginning of the war, we had professional soldiers.
Yeah.
Fighting farmers and old men.
Yeah.
By the end of the war, we had farmers and old men fighting for us.
Exactly.
And so it was quite ironic.
Well, this guy apparently was in, and I don't know whereabouts in Germany he was from, but this guy was from Germany, and when they'd actually gone out and said, right, we need soldiers, they'd gone into this university and stuff and dragged this guy out, and he was apparently a young intern at the.
Yeah.
The guy did a load of calculations and couldn't work out how the calculations worked out, but ended up sending them to Einstein.
Yeah.
Einstein got them,
Yeah.
read them through,
Yeah.
put them down to one side, completely, totally, ignored
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
And then one day was thinking about something and thought, oh, hold on a minute,
Yeah.
pick these up, did it.
And one of them was E equals MC squared.
Well, yeah, well, it was something. It's something to do with the maths behind it
Yeah.
before they actually come to that part. And
Yeah.
this guy had actually written this down,
Yeah.
and it was on a mud-stained,
Yeah.
like muddy
Yeah,
paper
yeah,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. And this is where Einstein had actually got it from. Now we see there's a theory with Einstein as well that he was in contact with aliens, and aliens were coming back and he was meditating.
Yeah.
And but it was. You just honestly, I mean, getting back to this flat Earth thing,
Yeah.
please just get in contact.
Well, I mean, going back to what Diane said about the turtles, according to flat earthers, it's just rock that's underneath it. We don't have a core; it's just rock. So basically, it's a disc with rock underneath.
Yeah.
So that's why when you dig into the ground,
volcanoes.
Yeah. Well.
Is that the disc having a fart? Is it?
What?
Explain to me a volcano. Explain to me a tectonic plate. There's a tectonic plate moving that causes a volcano.
But this is what with all conspiracy theories, isn't it? They all sound really good until you actually start looking into them, and then you find holes beyond. No turtles on the backs of bigger turtles. Then there's the conspiracy theory.
Is it the turtles farting? Are they farting like liquid rock?
Good. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, I don't know. Then there's the conspiracy theory. Flat earthers believe photos of the globe are photoshopped. GPS devices are rigged to make airplane pilots think they are flying in a straight line around a sphere when they're actually flying in circles. Up with this. The motive for world government's concealment of truth shape of Earth. We're going to get the answer of what I was saying before. Why would they do it? The truth. The shape of the Earth has not. It hasn't been ascertained. But I thought we were going to get the answer. But flat Earth believe it's probably financial. Well, what could they make out of it? What am I missing? I'm as peeved as what you are. I'm not as peeved as you, but I'm peeved because why say the Earth is flat? Why would the government say it was round? What are they achieving? Did somebody come up with an idea of making a round globe years ago?
Let's put this in context.
And it's like we've got to see it's round because we're not selling many globes in the gift shop.
Let me put this into context, right? I honestly, genuinely believe that there is some form of alien life out there.
Yeah, the flat
Right? There's a lot of things, a lot of conspiracy theories, and if I give it enough headspace, I probably think, I agree with that, mate. I mean, I've listened to the theories about 9/11 and about the metal analysis and this woman who's done all this stuff and things like that. I mean, that's a really, really difficult subject to actually go into.
Yeah.
But do you know what it is? There is actually stuff there. And I mean, I'm not saying any way, which shape or form. I'm not making a decision.
Keyring's mugs, boombox. There is money to be had.
Yeah. But the thing is you have these people and they come up with a conspiracy theory like 9/11.
Yeah.
Right? And they say, right? And you sit there and you think to yourself, well, I don't trust governments. I genuinely don't trust governments.
Yeah.
For the sole reason why the whole
reason of look at our parliament.
The whole country's divided at the moment. This room's divided at this moment in time when it comes to things like that.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, and so I can add that there is some weight, possibly. Well, I believe it or not, another thing.
Yeah, of course.
But if somebody come in and said,
that's what I'm saying earlier.
If somebody sat in front of me now and said, this is a conspiracy theory about 9/11, blah, blah. Do you know what? Yeah, you've got a point
there is. I mean, as I've said many times, I've had many discussions about this because I don't believe for one moment that McCanns are guilty of killing.
Yeah, we've had this. We did this one, didn't we?
And because the evidence, and as you know, as I've mentioned many times, people lie, evidence doesn't. The evidence doesn't prove that they had anything to do with it. Yes, they were wrong in leaving their child.
They're guilty of that.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. But I don't believe for one moment they're guilty of the murder of child. But obviously, there's all these things that people come up with, and they can be debunked by evidence.
Yes.
There's the DNA analysis. Our DNA was found. No, what was actually found was familial DNA. Now, familial DNA is what me and Diane would have, because we're family.
Yeah.
So we would have the same, or we would have similar parts. No, guys, Wexit, or we have a vote on whether or not we stay in the solar system.
Do you know what it is, though, Steve? Seriously, honestly, I can just say it now. We can do where, you know, the United Federation of Planets.
Yeah.
Like 250 years from now, and Britain will still be arguing the toss of whether we're going to leave Europe or not. It's just. But no, I mean, like I say, you listen to advice, or you listen to people actually telling you have things like the McCann stories, you have like 9/11,
Yeah.
you have Bermuda Triangle, you have this, that, other, you have all of these places and things, and you think to yourself, yeah, okay, I completely get that. But where it comes down to the flat Earth, it's like that one that brought, you know, I can't find anything at all.
Why am I signed in as joyful individual?
I don't know.
I'm not even in. I'm in, but I'm not in.
Oh no, that's that crazy thing that they.
Oh yeah, I've got to log in.
But no, when you actually and you look at these things, and they're calling a flat Earth, and they're talking about, oh yes, okay, for God's sake, guys, please, somebody who is a true believer get in contact with us, because I'd love to have that conversation. Genuinely,
I'd love to take you outside and have that conversation.
No, I wouldn't go that far. Because, you know, the thing is, at the end of the day, you've got to kind of be kind, haven't you? But I don't know. I'm going to give you the contact details now, guys, and I think we're going to have a little break, Paddy. I think.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. I mean, how long have we been going?
We've been going for a couple of 2 hours 37 in at the moment. So what we're going to do is, guys, the contact telephone number is 01207 795 005. That's 01207 795 005. If you want to text us, you can start the message. The short message number is 60777, and please start your message with 89MX4. That's 89MX4. The M and the X are capital letters. Or you can get me on again 60777, and you can get me on JEGQE. I want to know why mine's all words and yours has got numbers in.
Well, I don't know.
It's the same numbers.
That's a conspiracy theory, Jeff.
Okay then.
But before you just speaking about conspiracy, Christine had said there are conspiracy theories that you think, yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
But flat Earth, definitely not.
I'm sorry, you're right, Christine. Honestly, I'll listen to any conspiracy theory at all. If somebody wants to give me evidence, and like I said, there is things I believe.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And there's things that I'll go, yeah, I can understand. I can actually physically understand why somebody would believe a conspiracy theory, and I'll say,
well, that's the thing. There is conspiracy theories out there, as you see, the McCanns, 9/11, the moon landings.
If you think about it, though, if you look at the Ancient Aliens, the television program Ancient Aliens is a really good.
I've never seen it. I know the
program. Giorgio
Moroder.
No, that's him, Giorgio. When he comes on and he sits there and he goes on and he sort of like he does these little sort of these bits and stuff, and obviously there's 12, I think there's 12 series or 13 series or something that they've done of it.
Yeah.
I tell you what, mind, you know, fair play to them. There is some really interesting stuff like the Puma Punka stuff. I was going to mention earlier on. We were talking about ancient buildings and stuff, and I mean, you look at that. There's no way that could have been created. That's got to have come. From the technology we don't know about.
Yeah.
But you can see them going, well, this is the situation there. There's the conspiracy theory, there's ancient aliens and all that, and you know, and you get that, and it's like, yeah, fair enough. Some of the stuff comes on, and you think, well, I can see why you believe that, but I don't necessarily agree with you.
Yeah.
But flat Earth.
Believe me, Dave, there's another one.
Oh no.
You know, a very. I think flat Earth probably, but these two people meeting in a room must have a really bad day, because you've got your flat earthers on one side, but Earth is flat, Earth is flat. Then you've got the hollow earthers, the people who actually think that the Earth is hollow.
Now,
and you know, the likes of Journey to the Centre of the Earth.
I'm trying to
things like that.
I'm trying to think where I'm trying to think I think what was it? I can't remember. It was a film or something that I watched recently about this as well, where they said it was the inner Earth.
Yeah.
And
But Journey to the Centre of Earth.
Yeah.
Is about that, isn't it? About like sort of life inside of Earth.
Because obviously there's the moon theory as well, that the moon is an asteroid.
The moon is made of cheese.
No, it's definitely not. It's, definitely not. No, they want it.
That's true. Doug went.
It's what? It's made of cheese.
No, the hollow Earth.
The hollow Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got that. It's when they talk about the hollow Earth factor.
I think she's on about Doug McClure.
Yeah.
Was he in Journey to the Centre of the Earth? Doug McClure.
The hollow moon, and apparently the moon is got life forms living in it, and these are the guys that come down and visit us. This is their staging station. It's like
people from the moon.
Yeah, I've heard.
Also, they live inside the moon.
They live inside the
moon.
Like
the Moomins.
Yeah,
the Soup Dragon.
Moomins. And what they actually do is they come down and they actually all of the UFO technology that has been spotted on Earth is these guys coming down and monitoring us.
No, well, going back to the crop circles earlier on, they're saying that some of the crop circles weren't actually made by things landing. They were made by, so basically they're sending us a letter, but using laser beams.
Yeah.
So they, going back to your burned grass.
Yes.
That could explain that, is what they're saying, because obviously, the laser beam, and they're like sort of then, firing this laser beam down, sending you an email.
Yeah.
I
would send them. I mean, to be honest, if you think about it though, if you were an alien coming to Earth, would you come
to Earth for a start?
Would you come to Earth?
Yeah.
Right, because obviously you've got the radio signal about the flat earthers, and you can sit there going,
exactly.
This is why aliens don't visit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, but then you've got the other factor as well, is you say, the first thing that's going to happen, where are you going to land? If they landed in America, somebody somewhere is going to go out and shoot the shit out of them. Pardon me, French, but they're going to go and shoot them, aren't they? It's going to be like,
no, they're going to end up marrying them, or they're going to end up,
No, come on.
They're going to like sort of.
Come on, Paddy, seriously. Hold on. Let's go southern United States of America.
Oh yeah.
Your friends down there, because obviously
you're
the head of the Southern American fan club. And
it's not my fault that his wife's brothers, sisters, husband
is
all the same person.
Don't say it. But can you imagine like the two guys coming out there?
Yeah.
Seeing Paul the alien.
Jethro and his brother.
Billy Bob.
Jethro and Billy Bob.
Yeah. Jethro and Billy Bob.
Hey, Jethro, there's some aliens across there.
And there's Paul the alien standing there, right? And all of a sudden,
Paul the alien.
You've seen that film, haven't you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Paul the alien standing there, and the first thing they're going to do is shoot the hell out of him.
Oh, well, whoa, what's up?
So
then they find out it's some child.
Yeah, Britain, they're going to land, and I don't know what reaction.
Well, it depends on who they land next to, isn't it? If they land next to Boris, they'll think that we're aliens ourselves, because they'll be thinking, who's that? Because he can attack, but without bumbling on. If they land next to Jeremy, then, they'll be able to get, they won't need to get took to the leader, because he'll give them everything anyway.
I'm still, I know we're going political now, but I'm still laughing at that one. That head of ISIS that was, when Jeremy Corbyn said he should have been arrested.
What, the one that was killed?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Is that what he said, was he?
He said he should have been arrested.
Right.
But he actually blew himself up because he was wearing a suicide vest, and he killed 2 of his kids.
Yeah, well.
Do you think he was going to come quietly?
Well, I mean, he obviously wasn't, but I can see what he was getting at. Wouldn't it be better to arrest somebody and find out information than just shoot them?
No.
I mean, you're absolutely right.
Facebook's gone off apparently. Is that fit? Is that right, Christian? Facebook's gone off.
Facebook's got off. Oh no, we've lost Facebook.
Uh,
No,
oh,
it's
the
still on.
lights are on.
It's still on.
But no, I'm
It's a conspiracy.
the guy blew himself up. But anyway, never
Oh,
mind.
without a shadow of doubt. But yeah,
Yeah, but let's not go
he's
political.
gone visiting the paranormal, hasn't he? Or he's become paranormal. Right. So another one. We've got two more. Well, no, sorry, we've got one more because the next one's going to be a long one. So I'm not. You are blurred. All right.
That's how he looks. He's got.
I was going to say I'm just moving around. I'm dancing around so nobody can shoot me. That's what it is. Oh, I'm back.
Oh,
apparently.
Hello.
I haven't been anywhere. But anyway, so we'll have one more and then we'll have a break and we'll come back because the next one is going to be quite a large one. So it's the 366 geometry conspiracy or theory.
All right.
Thanks to the Babylonians, most of us believe there are 360 degrees in a circle. However, certain areas, particularly megalithic Britain, believed a circle had 366 degrees, and some still believe this to be true today. So some people actually believe that there's an extra 6 degrees in a circle. Now, again, why?
I've never heard that.
Yeah, the metalithic or 366 geometry theory.
But you know, I mean, going back again to ancient times, like I say, for Egypt, for
Egypt.
For Egypt.
Oh, yeah, they said for Egypt. I was going to say, what?
Egypt.
What on about the
For
Egypt?
Egypt. I mean, the thing is if you think about the rudimentary tools that they were using when they built the pyramids.
When you actually look into it, it makes sense why there's 366.
Go on.
It's the orbit of the sun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But going back to your flat earthers, that can't be a circle, can it?
Well, I mean, that's it. So why is the sun not a flat strip?
Well, 3 of the degrees started working for Diana. That's whether the 3 degrees they just fell off the edge of the earth. No, there's a wall of ice. So they wouldn't fall off.
Yeah, I'm just thinking there. Oh dear, honestly, flat earthers.
Yeah, what about 366 degree thingamybobs now? According to the hypothesis of Alan Butler and Christopher Knight, megalithic civilization of Britain and Brittany, France, or Brittany, France. I thought you called Britney Spears, not Brittany, France. Yeah. Used 366 degree geometry, also called megalithic geography. This geometry, whose origin is claimed to go back to 3000 BC, would have used 366 degree circle rather than a 360 degree circle. Did they have degrees back in 3000 years ago?
Well, I don't know, because I mean the thing is like you say, it does make me laugh when you look at. I mean, if you go back megalithic, if you look at Stonehenge, for instance.
Yeah.
Time Team special on Stonehenge, and they did a recreation of it, and they actually did it off the geo. They did a Google Earth. They did the geolocation. You know, the device thing that they've got.
Yeah.
It looks like a radar dish thing with a javelin and all that carry on, and they did that. And to be totally honest with you, it did look a bit cobbled together.
Yeah.
Right, but it served its purpose.
Yeah.
It was in line.
Well, what purpose did it serve? What is it there?
Well,
for?
the thing is it was
Personally, I don't think you two are qualified to talk about degrees and geography type things. Everybody's trying to see it.
Oh, I think that's a bit of a must gag there, Stephen. After if that's got something to do with the joke that was cracked this afternoon while we were shopping.
What? I wasn't there.
I'll tell you during the break.
All right.
It's a bit of a joke.
Christian also says she's never heard this one.
Yeah, it's a bit of a joke about a certain type of person in a certain organisation that can't use maps. I think is what he's getting.
Oh, right. Oh, right. So he's yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, try to say it.
Yes.
I used to be a lunch coach at one time.
Yeah. There you go. I can still navigate my way around, but not my.
Yeah, I'm going to start that.
Yeah. Well, Google Earth on my phone.
Exactly.
No, but what they did was when they actually did this reconstruction of the megalithic thing,
Yeah.
and what they did was they actually stuck it on, and what they were saying,
That's a great word, isn't it?
megalithic, yes. And what they actually said was it was to do with on the solstice, it was supposed to be a line of progression or a rite of passage.
Yeah.
Which is what they actually originally said it before.
Yeah.
However, obviously there's the ancient aliens theory where it was supposed to be something to do with
channeling power. And,
it's a portal. It's where they, where.
But then again, if you think about what it's used for, the sun and what have you, and going back to the 366 degrees, because that's how long it takes the sun to, So again, what we were saying before, conspiracy theories that could actually be true.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
there's some
well, it's this thing though, isn't it?
It's
the whole theory about the 365.
Why is vital impression though?
Generally don't know.
No, because that shouldn't be until like sort of 6 in the morning. But never mind.
I hope people are listening to us on there.
I was going to say it's not actually on. It's what's
It does come up. It does come up there. It does come up and say things there. But no.
Have we been on till like sort of 6 in the morning or something?
I don't know. I'm just looking at the time. No. But again, it's if you look at the precision or the lack of precision that was done, but if you actually look at like the pyramids, you look at the joking aside about you were talking about the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar, when it actually comes down the side of one of the main temples, it's actually in the form of a snake, which is obviously relevant to. And the snake was supposed to be the bringer of life, and or what I call it. I mean, obviously, I'm not an expert on it, but all of those buildings that they've got have been there for thousands and thousands of years.
Right.
And some people are saying that there's a theory doing the rounds at the moment that the actual pyramids are not actually burial chambers. Again, they were there for focus and energy, etc. And they've been there 10,000 or 20,000 years longer than we think they have. So if we go back like 6,000 to 8,000 years, they've been there an extra 10,000, 20,000 years on top of that as well, which kind of then goes, well, how did this happen? Because the theory is, and again, it is a conspiracy theory, the theory goes because of the billions upon billions of years, 4 billion years or something that's been here.
Something like that,
And they're saying what the classical scientists are telling us, i.e. the sort of Victorian scientists, etc., telling us that we are only, if you look at the calendar of the year, we are December the 31st, halfway through the day or something, the amount of time the humanoid being has been on. But what they're saying is it goes back further. And they think that's wrong. There's a lot of scientists out there.
But I mean, isn't that the thing with everything though, isn't it? Without actual, it's the same as history itself. Without actual having somebody from that period, which obviously we never will.
Surmising.
It's a case of this is what we think, and that's all it is. It's just pyramids are landing base for spaceships. Have you not seen Stargate? I have seen. Well,
I have Stargate. But
I haven't seen the series or anything. The whole series. I think I've seen the first episode of the series, but I've seen the Kurt Russell film.
Yeah. I mean, there's a really good one in one of them, and I think it's one of the ones that it's not actually the pyramids, but it's one of the ones out of towns. That one that they filmed the Bond one in, the James Bond where he was getting chased around with Jaws, and they found the hieroglyphics in there. And that's the one where the helicopter's supposed to be. And there's supposed to be a hieroglyphic that looks identical to a helicopter. He said.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's like everything else, isn't it? You look at something and
we've traded the same patterns.
But also, if it looks like a helicopter, it doesn't mean it was a helicopter that they drew, but it looks like a helicopter. So so it's one of those things. Anyway, we're going to take a break and then we're going to come back and we're going to enter into the world
of Twilight Zone.
Of the Twilight Zone. No, we're going to enter the world of mythical creatures.
Ooh.
So we shall see you shortly.
Okay. Alan Menken.